Ah, Dimetrodon. Sweet, sweet Dimetrodon. Where art thou? Why, it appears you was gone as soon as you appeared in our hearts. Okay, Shakespeare aside, I like Dimetrodon. I've always thought its scenes in Dominion were excellent. Feels very eerie with that human skull and the music. Of course, it's written 5 years later by Ramsay. Cheers, Colin. Its design is very accurate and a little terrifying like the actual scene, but I do wish we got more, especially after you learn it's been involved in the franchise for years, being in toys and a background prop in Fallen Kingdom, and loads of video games, not to mention all the lore around it. I'd recommend this video by Clayton, but after seeing it in action, I had a couple of questions. 1. If all the dinosaurs had been mind-chipped, how come it hadn't, especially since it was made by them? So how did they miss that? 2. How was it able to just run around freely in the amber mines and not be caught, especially since they have the technology? And 3. How did they bring it back? And after my most recent rewatch, I knew this is what I wanted to talk about. So, without further ado, let's begin. Before we actually get into this, we first need to establish what Dimetrodon is and where it came from. Or she, I don't know. They never gave it a gender because everything needs one. Dimetrodon is an extinct mammal that lived 286 million years ago during the Permian period. It was first discovered by a farmer in 1845 on the Prince Edward Islands, Canada. Most Dimetrodon was studied by paleontological legend Edward Drinker Cope, who also happened to play a part in Michael Crichton's other novel, Dragon Teeth. Definite 10 out of 10 read. It was named Dimetrodon after its 2 sets of teeth. Most Dimetrodon remains are found in the southern west United States and Germany. It's also quadrupedal. The sail on its back was synchronized and most likely had a semi-sprawling posture between that of mammal land lizards. In 1845, Joseph Leedy described it as mandible of Bathyganthus borealis. Forgive me if I pronounced it any of that weird. Anyway, it's a large carnivore related to the Chondrosaurus, but in 2015 it was confirmed to be Dimetrodon. Now, you all might, well, no, you're all definitely thinking, but what does this have to do with the video? Well, there is one thing I forgot to mention. That was, it existed in the Permian period, and if you know anything about paleontology, or dinosaurs, or history, then you'll know the Permian period ended 40 million years before the dinosaurs. But you're still probably confused because what does that have to do with any of this? Well, again, if you know anything about history, then you'll know that Amber wasn't a thing till years later. Same with mosquitoes. So, how the hell did Bison bring back a Dimetrodon, and why? Well, the reasons to how it's brought back is kind of easy to explain, as they've done it several times. What I mean is that Jurassic has a bit of a habit of changing things for the films, like Deinonychus being the Velociraptor and the Giga living along the T-Rex. So I feel like that's what's happened here. So for the sake of it, let's just assume it lived in the Triassic period, or maybe mosquitoes and amber existed back in the Permian period. Or this is the most likely option. Colin was a bit of a pleb and forgot to check the dates. And, well, here we are. But I do reckon the most likely option was the first one, as it's been done before and it feels like the right option. Another thing I'd like to note is that at the end of Fallen Kingdom, we learned that a variety of DNA was taken from Lockwood Manor and sold off to different parties. I feel like Biosin was the main one, but that would mean that Jurassic World would have had Dimetrodon DNA, which I feel like is unlikely, as they probably would have brought it back, because toys. And Wu is obsessed with raising the dead. Now for the second part of this video, explaining why would Bison need a Dimetrodon, one of Dominion's 360 unanswered questions. In Dominion, we learned that Bison have taken dinosaurs from Sauna. We don't know if it was legal though, and from the mainland. We are also aware they are cloning new accurate dinosaurs like the Pyroraptor, Moros, and Therizinosaurus. They claim they want to use dinosaurs to help humanity, but again, we are unaware if this is true. Now, we could say, oh, that's why, and yes, it's a very plausible theory, but I feel like they did it because they could, which is probably the actual reason, given how lazy this film is. Or maybe Dodgson had it sent to the Amber Lines, and anyone who found out about the locusts or any other bison evil deeds were sent to the mines and were killed by Dimetrodon. There's my theory for you anyway. What I do feel like will probably be explained in the future is that it was made from curing diseases, and a scapegoat of some sorts. But who knows? There's still so much we don't know about Jurassic or Dimetrodon, most notably how it got in the amber mines and how Bison got away with stealing dinos from Sauna, or when will the next Jurassic film come out. I feel like 2 out of 3 of those questions will be answered, but hey, after all these years of waiting, we finally got to see it on the big screen, which you can't say for most dinos. But maybe it will reappear, with Frank Marshall talking about the future films and Chaos Theory just around the corner. Maybe this won't be the last of Dimetrodon, especially since the Truss Raptors have been confirmed. All we have to do is wait.